Ah, here he is! Uno, how's the weather up there? Still, you're reigning. I'll just put that one down. Still, you're reigning and defending Cultaholic heavyweight champion, Adam Pacitti. My Tory chief. Success. It just falls off you like pollen. Like pollen. You look sad. Why sad? Why cry? We win. Why cry?
I said clean sweep.
Yeah, but it's not like footy where like you get extra things at the end of the season for goals.
I said clean sweep.
There is a quote from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? And
I said clean sweep.
Okay. I promise you two things. The Cultaholic Championship will never be compromised. And everything will happen as it's meant to happen. Yeah.
Leave.
My name is Tom Campbell, fake Geordie, radio presenter without portfolio, and the avocado for the reigning, defending, undisputed Cultaholic heavyweight champion, Adam Pacitti. And welcome to predictions for Hell in a Cell 2022, joined by the challenger. It's Cowboy Andrew, back once again with the ill behaviour.
I tell you something, Tom.
Please tell me something.
So close at AEW. We were so close at Double or Nothing. It came down to the main event.
He was quite fussy about a clean sweep, but hey,
yeah.
You lost, and that's all that matters. And you'll lose again this time, and the stakes could not be higher. Like a butcher's in a cathedral, the stakes are high. And this is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell. Punishment. We haven't done a good punishment.
We
in a
haven't.
while.
Ooh.
So, Hell in a Cell, Hell in a Smell.
No. I can't.
Oh! Are you saying no?
You're like an encyclopedia, Tom.
No, it's not me making the predictions. I am the mouthpiece for the master baker, Adam Pacitti, your reigning champion. So the predictions that I come with today, they're not my predictions. They're not what I want to happen. They are predictions from Adam Pacitti, who isn't here right now, obviously, as you can tell. He is safely ensconced in his luxurious locker room lounge area where he is watching these predictions via closed circuit television. I said to him earlier, he doesn't want to be near you.
Why?
I don't want to be near you when these predictions go down. I said, you tell me what we are predicting, because obviously it's his predictions and not mine.
Obviously.
I'll deliver it, you chill, and we'll send this boy into Hell in a Smell. Yes! Let's get on with the predictions. The United States Championship is on the line. Theory puts it up against Mustafa Ali. Who you got and why, Andrew?
I've gone for the young man named Theory to defend his belt and take it back home with him this fine evening. I think WWE have a lot of stock in Theory, and whilst I'm really enjoying this kind of like comeback story of Mustafa Ali, I think he's going to be on the back foot for a little tiny bit longer. I think we build him up a little bit more before he finally gets that big babyface win. But for now, I think the ball is firmly in Theory's court. What about yourself?
Well, Theory's been on a tear, so it's obvious to say that, you know what? Theory is your guy to keep the US title for a good long while. He's been doing some really good work with some key members of the Raw roster. I think that Ali's comeback seems, it's a weird one, not completely invested in it just yet. So you'd think it's probably not the time for Ali to win the title. However, our Tory leader-in-chief, Adam Pacitti, seems to think that Ali is winning the United States Championship. Despite all those very salient points I said, he sees a title change. And who am I to doubt the great Adam Pacitti? So yeah, he's picking Ali. Put him down for Ali to win the United States Championship.
Next up in a singles match, we have Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens, Tom and Tribal Chiefman.
Just the Tribal Chiefman. I am merely the spokesman. I am the megaphone held in the loving arms of the Master Baker.
Fair enough.
Gentle arms of the Master Baker.
Well, who's the Master Baker going for, Tom?
Well, like, the Ezekiel thing's been actually a bit of a revelation.
Yes.
We were saying this the other day, the champ and I, how, like, Ezekiel, like, the story I wasn't sold on to begin with, but it's really come around, and it seems obvious to really get Ezekiel well and truly over and onto other things on the main roster. I think a big win over Kevin Owens seems like the right way to go, doesn't it? It seems like the right thing to do. You know, he's Kevin Owens, a former champion, a former Universal champion. That's a great result for Ezekiel to do that. However, in his infinite wisdom, despite the salient points made there, Adam Pacitti's going for Kevin Owens to beat him.
Really?
Yeah, I can kind of see it from his point of view. Maybe, shut Ezekiel down for good, and then maybe, bury that and move on as if nothing happened. I guess that might be his thinking. Maybe.
Huh.
But yeah, so he's going, Kevin Owens. Who have you got and why? Kevin Owens, maybe?
Well, I kind of thought that would take the sales out of Ezekiel's.
So did I.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Well, I'm going for Ezekiel, Tom, because I think there's still a little bit more. There's still a little bit more in this storyline, and I think the things that Kevin Owens has been doing to really get Ezekiel over has been working an absolute treat with the crowd. And we saw in the six-man tag match, you know what? Ezekiel's in-ring ability as well. My goodness, he's getting really, really good. And I can see perhaps also maybe a little rusty man named Sami Zayn perhaps getting involved in this one, because we saw Sami on the KO show, and KO was like, look, you need to get out of this bloodline. You're not part of this bloodline thing. They don't love you anymore. Sami storms off. I think Sami could get involved and do some little naughty shenanigans to get Ezekiel over in this one.
I like how you sneak in the 9 pitches there as well.
Oh, is it?
It's kind of what you did there.
I haven't even watched it yet.
You didn't even do 9 pitches this week, and you've stuck in a pitch.
And I've got it in there. Boom.
You are, if nothing else, a son of a pitch. 6-person tag team action. AJ Styles, Finn Bálor, and Liv Morgan versus Judgment Day. Who you got and why?
This is gonna be your Judgment Day. Nice. I think Judgment Day are gonna win this. I think it would be a little bit silly if this faction of power that we're building up, lose on their first proper pay-per-view appearance together. I think it would be a little bit silly. Take the momentum out of them as well and make them not feel as much of a threat as what they really need to seem. I do, however, think there could also be a turn here. Now, Finn Bálor, yes, he came out on Raw to make a bit of a save, but he's not been consistently at the side of Liv Morgan and AJ Styles. And whilst I think a few of us are thinking, ooh, maybe Ciampa could debut himself here as a member of Judgment Day, I think Finn Bálor might do some sneaky turns. So Judgment Day get the win. How about yourself?
Well, it's not my prediction.
Again.
This is the Cultaholic heavyweight champion, the beast in constituency, Adam Pacitti's choice. And a lot of points that you made there are very true. Like, Judgment Day is a new faction that is really getting the motors running here, and this is kind of like their first real beefy rivalry in a six-person kind of way. And the sort of the appearance of Ciampa on the periphery, this feels like the absolutely perfect time to bring Ciampa in to shut down this little uprising from Finn Bálor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan. So yeah, sensible people would say, Judgment Day.
Yep.
It seems weird not to, but weirdly, I say weirdly, how rude of me. In his infinite wisdom, my tribal leader, my Tory leader, the man bathed in blue and gold, Adam Pacitti, seems to think that this will be AJ Styles, Finn Bálor and Liv Morgan winning, despite the fact that they won on the go-home show, which is normally an indicator of how a result will go. He seems to think that this uprising is going to shut down Judgment Day for good. So, again, who am I to doubt the leader? He's picking AJ Styles, Finn and Liv, so punch that into your system, I guess.
Next up in a 2-on-1 handicap match, Bobby Lashley is taking on the powerhouse team of Omos and MVP. Who does the Tribal Chiefeth have?
For this one, Adam, Tory Tribal Chief Leader, couldn't decide on a winner. You know, it seems quite obvious, you know, that Lashley would finally get his comeuppance in this. You know, the story that's been told is of Lashley fighting back from underneath against Omos and MVP, and now this is a 2-on-1. You know, the jeopardy's there, and it's Lashley picking up the win. You know, sensible people, like the wonderful people watching this predictions video, would say, yeah, that certainly feels the way. But again, in his infinite wisdom, he tells me a non-finish is on the cards. You see, he's, and I'll sort of paraphrase what he said to me. He said, I think that they will become friends and the match will end with all three of them becoming great mates, maybe having a laugh, maybe going to the bingo. I'm paraphrasing. It was words to that effect. So I don't know how, you know, I mean, the rules are made to be broken.
Exactly.
And if the Tory chief wants to break the rules and say non-finish, no contest, that's what we're doing. I'd say don't shoot the messenger. Who have you got and why?
Well, who am I to question the Tribal Chief?
Nobody.
Exactly. And whilst you make some very, very valid points, I'm going to go for Bobby Lashley to pick up the win, because as I was thinking about this, I was like, are we finally going to tie this feud all together? We've obviously seen stuff. It's been since WrestleMania. It's been carrying over for a little while. I was worried that Hell in a Cell would be WrestleMania Backlash, and whilst there are some rematches from that sort of period, you know, I think we are finally getting to the end, and I'm hoping, and I've got my fingers crossed, that the way to keep Omos strong, because that's the worry in this. You're building up Omos to be a big monster man in WWE, eating a loss, whilst, you know, to former WWE champion Bobby Lashley isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think Bobby Lashley finally gets his comeuppance on MVP. Eating a spear, 1, 2, 3, 1 and done.
Had it been me and you on predictions, we probably would have gone the same on. Hey, I'm just.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. The Raw Women's Championship is on the line. It is Bianca Belair defending against Becky Lynch and Asuka in a triple threat. That's a lovely face you're doing. Who you got and why?
I can never remember the words to a song, Tom. Bianca Belair to retain.
I'm on my own against the world.
Bianca Belair to retain the Raw Women's Championship. Yes, she is up against formidable foes in Becky Lynch and Asuka. However, if we are building a women's division, a future of the women's division, well, the current of the women's division, should I say, I think we firmly keep it on Bianca Belair. She won it at WrestleMania against Becky Lynch, and I don't want to see that belt off her right away. I think she's got a lot to prove, and to really solidify her as a women's champion, beating both Asuka and Becky Lynch. Oh, what a way to do it.
I see where you're coming from with that. I think Bianca Belair is an exceptional Raw Women's Champion. I've really enjoyed the story they've told with her. And the stories around that, like with Becky and Asuka, like Becky kind of going a little bit sort of, my precious, about the Raw Women's title, sort of talking herself round into like being the comeback kid. Asuka's return, it's great to see Asuka back in there. And this is a match that I think she'll really get her teeth into. And that's no pun intended, because I know she's had a lot of work on her teeth. That was a complete accident, but it's a good test for them. But I you know, so it would obviously say that I think whilst Becky and Asuka, this is setting something up for those two to spin off and go and do their own thing, with Bianca Belair getting a win and then letting those two go and have a wonderful rivalry, and Bianca goes on to the next one. So it would make sense to kind of go Bianca to win.
Yeah.
It really would. But again, these aren't my predictions. These are the predictions of our Tory chief,
of course.
Adam Pacitti, who seems to think that none of that will happen.
None of it?
In fact, he's picked John Laurinaitis to walk out. I don't know whether he had a late night when he made his predictions. Who knows? I'm just the messenger. He's picked John Laurinaitis to win, and in doing so, John Laurinaitis will continue his new quest of gaining as many women's championships as he possibly can. He's already the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, so why not pick up the Raw Women's belt? Maybe, and again, this is just me and the champ just spitballing at this point.
Yeah.
You know, go on to fight Ronda Rousey. You know, and then who knows? This is just him. He'll fight Thunder Rosa next, so that's just, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But for whatever reason, I mean, stranger things have happened in the WWF. He's picking John Laurinaitis is our leader. He's picking John Laurinaitis.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm never better.
And finally, we have Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, round 3. Tom, however, this time it's inside Helleth in a Celleth. Who is the tribal chief going for in this one?
Do you know what? We deliberated a long time about this. Cody Rhodes has picked up 2 key wins in the competition between Seth and him. Seth yet to have a win. Seth need a win. Seth cut an amazing promo that possibly sets up for maybe even a 4th match down the road with those two, which would suggest that maybe Seth would pick up the win inside Hell in a Cell. However, nothing is lost from Cody beating him 3 times.
Yes.
So it was a real tough one. And Adam Pacitti has chosen Cilla Black to win Hell in a Cell.
She picked
Saturday Night Entertainer Cilla Black.
bit dead.
She's about 6 feet from a comeback, but he genuinely believes that it'll be Cilla Black. I mean, his words, not mine.
Yeah, well, we've seen holograms.
We all love. Yeah, well, that's it.
Exactly.
This week the ABBA concerts are taking place with the avatars.
Yes, yeah.
Not abattoirs. That's very different.
That's a bit different.
With the avatars, where they're like the hologrammatic versions.
Yeah.
Hey, and they beamed hologrammatic versions of wrestlers into the ring before.
True.
The stuff with Bray Wyatt. Be honest, I'm just trying to figure out the mindset of our champion at this point, why he picked Cilla Black, but he did. So put down Adam Pacitti in the predictions competition has chose Cilla Black to win Hell in a Cell on Sunday. Who have you got and why? I hope it's not Cilla Black.
Well, now thinking about it, now that you put a little bit of legitimacy behind your reasoning as to why Cilla Black could very well pick up the win here,
It's all about the reasoning.
It is.
It's all about the reasoning, this show.
I feel a little bit silly now in saying, I think Cody Rhodes is going to pick up the win. I think he's going to be 3 for 3. He's going to do it, and this is going to seemingly close this chapter between Seth and Cody. And then I'm thinking forward here. I see Cody Rhodes getting the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then as he does his cash in, I can see Seth Rollins just trying to absolutely just destroy any moment of happiness for Cody down the line, and I think we pick it all up back there. However, tonight I genuinely think it's one and done. It's gonna look like at some point Seth is gonna get the win. However, I think Cody's very, very much winning this one. Also, I don't think we take the momentum. I don't think we take the adrenaline out of Cody Rhodes' soul just yet. It seems like that's for somewhere else further down the line.
Some really strong reasoning on your part as to why, and again, a big part of this show is the reasoning and the explanations behind the predictions.
Of course.
No one, however, is predicting, adrenaline in my soul is one thing, but neither of them are predicting apparently a blind data, because Adam Pacitti's picking Cilla Black.
Yep.
Who knows?
Who knows?
He's normally got people on the inside. He knows what's going on. So who are we to doubt? The champ, Cilla Black, to win Hell in a Cell. So those are Andrew and Champion Adam's predictions for Hell in a Cell 2022. The loser of the predictions competition will be facing Hell in a Smell. It is a synonymous.
It's been going on for a while
bit
now.
Of punishment nonsense. It has been going on for a while. One of these two will be facing Hell in a Cell at the end of it. You can check out all of our coverage of Hell in a Cell on the YouTube channel. 9 pitches on the channel right now. You can check out what happened following Hell in a Cell, the WTF moments from Hell in a Cell, and of course, on the night itself, live reactions from...
Tom!
Right, do you do this bit?
I'll do it. You go. Live reactions from myself and this man right here for the